spiritual power resided in your lauloho, your hair, in your niho, your teeth, and in your iwi, your bones, because these were the things that outlasted the flesh as it rotted away. Whenever I have school kids, I tell them, if you watch CSI, any of the CSI programs, they talk about the bones and the teeth and how they identify people. So that's that same idea. If you were a chief or a chiefess, they would not cut the hair because to oki something would mean you would release the mana from it. So what they did beginning in childhood was just brush and comb your hair, and whatever came off in the brush or the comb they would save. When they had enough of that, they would start braiding these blades. They would braid in the hair of your ancestors, the hair of a famous warrior, famous chief, so you would carry that mana around your neck. And attached to these braided layers of human hair would be the pendant carved from the tooth of the sperm whale. Hawaiians didn't hunt the whale, believing it to be an earthly manifestation of Kanaloa, the god of the ocean. And besides that, all of these other resources, they didn't have to go after the big guys. But whenever a whale did beach itself here on the islands, they made use of the meat, the bone, the ivory, and they would take that ivory and they would carve it into the shape of the lelo, the tongue, which meant that the wearer had the authority to speak on behalf of their people. This one is made from nylon and cow bone, but we do have some original pieces in the case off to my left. However, the one that I speak of in the story, that's not out on exhibit at present. The second prop I use is this piece of cloth, which represents perhaps the oldest featherworking piece in our collection dating back to the 1400s. It is a sash that measures 11 feet long. The backing of it is woven from the fibers of the olo nam plant, the second strongest fiber next to hemp in the world. And attached to that netting are the red feathers of the iwi, yellow feathers of the mamo, and the o'o. And embedded in the original piece are human teeth, the teeth of the ancestors of the chief who have this name. If you've seen Kamehameha's statue in front of the Iolani Palace, you saw him wearing this cross. Now the third prop I used is this replica of Kamehameha's personal war god, Huka'imimoku. It is woven from the rootlets of the Ie vine into that shape, and then attached to that basketry are the red feathers of the iwi, yellow feathers of the mamo and the o'o, dog's teeth, mother of pearl eye. Kamehameha will honor this war god until his dying day, believing that it's his reverence of this war god which affords him the opportunity to unite these islands under one rule. I begin this afternoon's story with a mo'okuauhau, a genealogical chant, in honor of a chief who rules with kindness and compassion. Eia na ali ino wai ki o kanui, na kua ki ali o hana la anu, o kiha nui mo ki ali. No o kiha le vai ole a hana mai o lilo. No o lilo ya kahipulia na hana mai umi a lilo. No o umi a lilo ya kapikini a hana mai o ki abi nui a umi. No ke abili au ke okalani a hana mai o loni kumakiki. No lona keiki kaikilani a hana mai na mamo ali a Kamehameha. Yola mau, nai noa no vai ki o kanoe. Journey with me back to the 15th century, to a valley on the island of Hawaii called Waikiki. There along the cliffs can be seen the twin waterfalls of Hi'ilawe, and on the valley floor, the Heiaua temple of Paka'alani. Now, in this valley lives a well-known chief by the name of Liloa. And one day Liloa decides to venture along the coastline towards Hilo. And on his journeys through the countryside, he runs into a beautiful woman bathing in a fresh water pond. Her name is Akahi'a Kuleana, and her beauty has been compared to the fragrance of the lehua blossom kissed by the morning wind. They will spend an intimate time together, for even though Akahi'a Kuleana is a maka'ainana or a commoner, she believes it is an honor and privilege to spend time with this famous chief. But nearing dusk, before the sun will set, Liloa plans to continue on his journey. But before he leaves, he will turn to this woman and he says to her, Akahi'a Kuleana, you are with child. If it is a girl, you are to name her after your side of that. But if it is a boy, you are to name him Umi, after my side. And I leave with him my most precious treasures, my mea makamai, my pahoa, or dagger to be used in hand-to-hand combat, my leni hopalau, which when worn will give him the absolute authority to speak on behalf of the people. And Makaikapu'o Liloa, or the sacred sash of Liloa. When he is old enough, you will present these to him and send him to find you there at White Field. They embrace, and Liloa continues on his journey. Now, Matai Kunyana will rush home and place his Mamakamai into her basket for safekeeping. A pahoa, or dagger to be used in hand-to-hand combat. The Lady Hopalawa, which when worn, will give the wearer the absolute authority to speak on behalf of the people. And the Ke'ekapu'o Liloa, of the sacred sash of Liloa. Now, a few months will pass by, and what do you suppose has happened? She's indeed with child. She's happai. And when she gives birth, what she had known, what do you suppose she has? Ay, boy, of course, the kikikane. Otherwise, my story would end right there. And she will name him Umi, just as Liloa had requested. Now, Umi is an exceptionally gifted child. He'll excel in all manner of sports or games. He'll be able to throw his ihe or spear furthest of any of the children. In serving, he catches the fastest along its way and brings him back to shore. In a game called Ulumaika, which uses a rounded disc such as this, he's able to throw it between the pegs with accuracy every time. In another game, called Konani, somewhat like checkers, only using a stone board, he will win at every pass. But Umi is also a kind and considerate child. If there are families that are without clothing or bedding, Umi will take kapa, bark cloth, that is taken his mother months and months to make, and he will give it to that family.